Hello, everyone! It's time to get back to the Skibidi Multiverse and take a closer look at the episodes that I've missed. Today, I will analyze 5 episodes at once, from 13th to 17th for you, and then show you all the secrets and Easter eggs that you certainly didn't notice. Who is the secret agent, and which episode is he hiding in? Why does the Titan speaker toilet suspect POV of betrayal? Is it true that the hammer cameraman is really on the skibidimen side? Get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because you'll 100% enjoy it. Let's go! Okay, so the 13th episode is right on your screens now, and the action takes place in the city that you may know well up to this point. It's called Golden City, and what is happening at the moment is a reference to the 18th episode of the original series, where Titan Cameraman appeared for the first time. At the very beginning, you see the big skibidiman, who wears a costume which is associated with 2 terracotta brothers quite strongly. And by the way, the first time when Cameraman dressed in such a costume appeared was in the 2nd episode of Skibidi Toilet series. Cameratoilets surrounded the freak, and then big cameratoilet lands and started simply beating this poor skibidiman to a pulp. But thankfully, the Skibidi soldierman comes to skibidiman's rescue. And it's worth mentioning that he also participated in episode 18, but as a toilet. Now he is going to destroy POV. Wait a minute, what? Dude, why are you pulling your head closer to us here? And why don't you just crush us just like you already did simply a second ago? This is really stupid! But anyways, we've been saved by the Titan camera toilet when he produces a few shots from his core. In response, the freak grabs him, and it seems like the Titan is almost finished. But hey, Speaker Toilet Titan gets to the party as well. He backs up his little brother, and the two of them successfully handle the situation. I think you will agree with me, my friends, that this battle was quite a difficult one for Titan Camera Toilet, because the freak was already pulling his head. And if not for the second Titan, the guy could have gotten really destroyed here. Meanwhile, in the original series, Titan Cameraman was able to single-handedly deal with several toilets very easily. In episode 18, he destroyed the creep in a second by crushing him with his leg. So it proves once again that in this multiverse, Titans and toilets are much weaker than their original prototypes. By the way, if you assume that the 13th episode of Skibidi Multiverse takes place in parallel to the 18th episode of Skibidi Toilet original series, you might notice an actual mistake. By this moment in the original series, Titan Speakerman had not even been created yet. Also, in Skibidi Multiverse, the 2 Titans met each other very quickly, but in the original series it was pretty much different. Firstly, G-Man made some serious damage to Titan Cameraman in episode 20, and then Titan Speakerman entered the battle. And only after he was infected, the improved Titan Cameraman who got back to the business managed to meet his brother for the first time in episode 57. But it's really cool, though, that in this multiverse, the guys got to become friends so quick. Oh well, and now I want to show you episode 14, my friends, because it's one of the highlights of the whole show. You see the Skibidimen cowardly running away from the Alliance forces. On the left, you can see the camera toilet, and I don't quite understand how this blood managed to handle 4 Skibidimen all at once while being completely alone. I mean, he doesn't even have a weapon. Damn it. Good job, buddy. Titan camera toilet has also arrived here. He looks at POV and then gets kicked pretty hard. Titan looks at his offender, who turns out to be G-Man. He kicked our guy like a ball and should be punished for it. Blood starts attacking Jimmy, but this guy doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. And oh my god, what was that? He tosses the Titan camera toilet like a toy, and the Titan is clearly not ready for this battle. At this point, G-Man must have thought something like, "Hey you, get away from me, bug!" I'm also having a hard time explaining what exact episode of the original series these events are happening in parallel to. After all, in Dafuque's Skibidi Toilet series, the upgraded Titan Cameraman and G-Man didn't meet until episode 64, and it's really weird. Okay, so Titan Camera Toilet got turned into a pile of metal, and on his left side you see the remains of his jetpack. Same goes for POV though. G-Man turns out to be smarter than the freak from last episode, so he just steps on you. And after that we are getting teleported straight to episode 15. The action takes place in a Skibidiman's laboratory. You see several empty toilets, and it seems that this is the place where scientist Skibidiman conducts horrible experiments on those poor things. By the way, this is a reference to the 30th episode of the original series. There is even the same staircase that you notice at the beginning of the episode. And it does make sense, because Skibidimen have arms and legs, so they can use this ladder. I'm sure that in the original series you could see it as well. But how did the Skibidi toilets use it, actually? Because they have toilets instead of bodies, and they couldn't move around on it. Okay, then you see the two big skibidimen grabbing the big camera toilet, and if you watched episode 30 of the original series, you probably know what happens next. POV turns around, and you see the poor guy. His whole body is covered in sparks, and it looks like they did a lot of dirty experiments on him. I'm afraid to even start imagining what this guy has been through. And it seems like his mind has long left this world due to the crazy amount of experiments his owner survived. Press F, Lil Camera Toilet. The Skibidi scientist joins the party then. He has the same red gun on his head as he used to have in the original series, and he also wears a white suit with a red tie. A parasite jumps out of the scientist's mouth, but it looks rather strange. In episode 30 of the original series, the parasite had a toilet with a special installation from the behind and a few legs. But in the Skibidi Multiverse series, his head is just placed on the head crab. And also, I already said that based on the idea of this series, parasites are supposed to look different. After all, in this universe, the Skibidi army members have bodies of normal human beings. And the Alliance members are being placed in the toilets. So the parasites are supposed to have arms and legs, don't you think so? A bug gets into the skull of a large camera toilet, and everything succumbs to the chaos now. The little brother starts growing arms and legs rapidly, and holy crap, this scene looks really disturbing to me. Now this guy is really a mutant who is half cameraman, half camera toilet. He looks around and then attacks POV. And on this note, episode 16 begins. You can see how the camera toilets did something miraculous once again, and managed to destroy several skibidimen, led by the big camera toilet, who has two guns on his sides. It looks like one of the brothers really loves his job, so he keeps jumping on the body of the destroyed big guy. Damn it. I still can't figure out how the camera toilets were able to overpower these freaks, because only one of them has a weapon. And I highly doubt that the big camera toilet could pull this off all alone. I need some real answers now. So please, write your own theories in the comments below, and I'll pin the funniest one in the comments section. Also, at the beginning of the episode, you might have noticed a car with the license plate LE4701D, and there are many secrets and theories about this license plate. Someone says that it was firstly noticed in the game Counter-Strike source that came out in 2004, and it hinted to the release date of Half-Life 2, and someone even changed the numbers to letters and got the name of the site called TELIOTOSI. But personally, I think that these numbers are just a random set of letters and numbers. Okay. After that comes another camera toilet. This guy has a toilet made of gray metal, and behind him there is a jetpack and also a hammer. But it looks very strange because this blood has no hands. So how he actually holds it, I cannot explain. Doesn't he remind you of anyone, by the way? Of course, he is a full replica of the upgraded cameraman with a hammer. That doesn't appear until episode 18 of the original series. The little brother appeared in episode 7 for the first time, where he had no upgrades initially. I think that it was the camera toilets that provided him with the hammer and the jetpack. But before they created all this stuff for him, they decided to experiment with these weapons a bit and upgrade one of the Alliance members. So that's the guy you see now. The POV turns around and several airplanes fly overhead. Below them, there are two armored cars with the mutants on them. They drive towards the camera toilets, but one of the mutants is already about to give us some trouble. He tears the camera off the blood with a hammer, and this scene is a reference to the 31st episode of the Da Fuchs original series. There is exactly the same infected big cameraman who arrived in the toilet, and the other one ripped off his brother's camera. After that, a few more mutants and 3 skibidimen show up. They seem to have gotten upgrades too, and have jetpacks behind them. POV slowly turns his head and more scumbags land next to you. One of the mutants is about to destroy you, but at the last moment, another one appears. The scientist was able to turn a regular camera toilet into a mutant, but not only did he increase the size of his body, but the camera as well. Also, at the 22nd second of the current episode, when POV turns around, there is a man standing next to a tree that can be noticed. You can only see his head, and it's definitely not Skibidiman because he's obviously hiding from them. But with what purpose? And who is that man exactly? I think that there's always a secret agent in all the different multiverses, and this series is no exception. So that's who this guy probably is. But some things don't add up though. If that's true, Why does he have a body of a normal person? After all, according to the show, the secret agent's body is supposed to be in the toilet as well, because it's the Skibidi Multiverse, and everything is the other way around here. At first, I thought that it might be No Skill Clutch himself, but their heads are very different. This secret agent will also appear in episode 20, and if you haven't watched my analysis of it yet, I highly recommend you to do so. Anyway, this guy doesn't help POV much, so Lil Mutant destroys you, which then sends us to episode 17. You see 2 camera toilets and 1 speaker toilet trying to escape from the army of skibidimen, and 2 big speaker toilets have already arrived to help them. Strangely enough, these guys don't even bother to help their little brothers. They seem to be more interested in the 3 skibidimen wearing jetpacks. POV decides to hide in a safer place, and on his way he meets a cameraman with a hammer. It's so good to see you, my friend. Where have you been all this time? Wait, what? Looks like this blood is about to destroy POV because he swings his hammer, but it turns out it was actually meant for the freak who was about to attack POV from behind. Thanks a lot, man. The Titan speaker toilet flies by, and at the same time, cameraman gives him a thumbs up, but something clearly alarms him, and he orders POV to hide. After a couple of seconds, it becomes even more clear what caused him to react that way. Skibidiman flies over to cameraman on a jetpack, and the 2 guys have a nice conversation one with another, as they give each other the thumbs up and fly away. After that, Titan speaker toilet comes to POV, and he throws a very suspicious look at him. He is clearly not happy about something, and his look raises a lot of questions here, so let me explain it. Titan saw the cameraman talking to Skibidiman as an ally, and thought that he was a traitor, and POV was also with him just seconds before. Now Titan thinks POV is a traitor too, but it's not that simple. You know that the cameraman with the hammer came to this multiverse from the original series and has the body of a normal person. The Skibidi army thinks that this cameraman is actually a mutant. Otherwise, how come that he has arms and legs? Most likely, they have taken him for one of their own and trust him. And the cameraman realizes this and plays the role of an ally in order to learn about the freak's next move. I ask you to remember this moment, because thanks to this ingenious trick, blood will save the Titan speaker toilet from the infection caused in the 18th episode, the analysis of which is already being released on my channel. So if you have not watched it yet, it's the perfect time to do so. Write your own thoughts and theories about who the mysterious guy hiding in episode 16 really is. Well, that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, so don't forget to hit like and subscribe buttons if you did. And that was me, Isa Toilet. See ya!